Hey everybody, this is Perch, and I mentioned this just very briefly in the Daniel Cherry announcement that he was leaving DC, almost as a throwaway line. But I got some email about it, and it's not necessarily a question, just a lot of "Did you see this? Did you see this?" And I've what four, at least four different people that I'm just looking at right here had the same comment. And it's this basic news that they had the GLAAD awards that are coming out, which cover a lot of different things: books, music, movies, entertainment, and comics as well. And what's interesting about that is that of the awards, there's a bunch of different comics that are listed there that are up for awards. And the X Office had zero representation there, just none. There's not a single title that they nominated for anything, despite the fact that Marvel, I think, in the X Office in particular, worked very hard to promote themselves as being LGBTQ friendly. That was a big push. That was a big promotion of what they were trying to do, and yet no recognition for it. Well, why did they not do a good enough job of promoting the characters? I mean, we saw tweets and things around how proud they were that we had entire issues featuring no straight white characters. So why then do we look at the awards and we get Aquaman the Becoming, Barb Alien, Red Planet. We get Crush and Lobo. We have The Dreaming. We have Guardians of the Galaxy by Al Ewing. We have Harley Quinn, the animated series, the Eat, Bang, Kill tour. We've got Killer Queens, Star Wars Dr. Aphra, Superman Son of Kal-El by Tom Taylor, and Wind. Now, if you look at that, it's not like Marvel was excluded. I think a lot of awards people look at these things and they go, well, they never pick anything from Marvel or DC, or if they do, they pick the weird indie darling kind of books. But here you've got Guardians of the Galaxy, you've got Son of Kal-El, Superman. You have mainstream books. It's not like they were picking just the Dreaming book for Sandman. They picked mainstream titles that are LGBTQ friendly. But despite that, again, the X Office has spent a good part of 2021 both reminding us that the writing crew has plenty of queer writers inside of it, and the characters are plenty of queer characters. In fact, the to the point where there were a number of tweets made and a number of statements made about how Vita writes the best queer characters and young and queer characters of any other writer, was the best writer in all of comics doing this, but nothing here. Now, it's worth noting that if we're looking at these stories that were mentioned, Guardians of the Galaxy is a little odd. They're talking about what Peter Quill's bisexuality, I'm assuming, or pansexuality, and the Hercules as well, and Marvel Boy, I think. So there's a couple characters in there that they featured, but not as much. I mean, certainly not as heavy of a feature as, say, like New Mutants or titles like that, or certainly Children of the Atom. Uh, but I would argue. I mean, I would look at that list. What's funny is when you read that list of comics, you look at it and you go, "Yeah, it's probably about right." I mean, in terms of mainstream books that they're putting LGBTQ material out there, yeah, but it checks out. In many cases, those stories, whether you liked them or not, and I know there's plenty of people who dislike the Superman Son of Kal-El. I think you could look at that and say, well, they committed to the bit, they made a story out of it. They also did a lot of PR out of it, but I mean it tried to tell the story that was that had an LGBTQ character in it, Superman, bisexual, and they weren't cheating at it. It was nominated for an award that it qualified for, right? So I guess my question here in all this, and my response to a lot of people who sent me mail, is once again, it's a little bit of the people promoting something that they're doing, people making a lot of statements around what they are, how you should perceive them, what it is that they're doing. But at the end of the day, when you kind of drill into the content, it doesn't really hit. I don't know. It's interesting. There is, for what it's worth. There's also the graphic novel category, and there we have Cheer Up by Crystal Frazier. We have DC Pride, the anthology book. We have 80 Days by Boom. We have The Girl from the Sea. We have Girl Haven. Here's a I don't know. This one I find just like, I Am Not Starfire gets nominated for a GLAAD award over, again, any of the X titles. Just rolling that out there. Marvel's Voices Pride, the anthology book, Renegade Rule, The Secret to Superhuman Strength, and Shadow Life. Okay, I've read a few of those books. Again, all those books probably, the anthologies I think are a cheat, personally. I mean, you're getting a little short story or something, but all right. But I don't know. So what do you draw from this? A decent amount of marketing, a decent amount of noise, a decent amount of promotion, a decent amount of effort, constant ongoing effort for that matter, around, look, we are promoting LGBTQ stories. We are, we're pushing this content. And yet, when it comes time to recognize it, not noticed. I mean, if you were on Twitter, if you're on social media, you'd get the impression that the X titles, first of all, are the best-selling titles in all of comics. But, the sales numbers don't track that, and now the awards do not track that. And it's worth saying, by the way, because again, several of you may probably would point it out. What do these awards even mean? It's hard to say. I don't know that they mean too much. I mean, the awards have never correlated to strong sales or anything else, but it's an honor. I mean, nobody's going to reject that award. Nobody's going to say this is a worthless award. I don't want it. People want the award. But I remember the video that was done a bit ago around, what does it mean when the creator has an idea for the character? When the creator, believes that the popularity or the buzz around a character is due to a certain thing, but the audience has a completely different impression. I think the takeaway from this for me is that when people look to the X books, they're looking for, I don't know, science fiction. They're looking for they're looking for a certain type of entertainment, and they're what they're getting is not what they're looking for, and what the writers are putting out is not what the book thinks is important, or what the audience thinks is important. I mean, for all the look at Children of the Atom. The Children of the Atom was very much a limited story about finding your identity. Multiple characters in that book were queer, and good art, Bernard Chang, good solid art there. Yet, absolutely no, it didn't hit the radar. Nope, no pun intended. Of the GLAAD Awards. I don't know. I think there's a lesson in there, and maybe the lesson is, hey, when you're doing the X books, if you really want them to be considered for a category or be thought of a certain way, consider, are you pushing a boulder uphill? Do you have the characters? Do you have the story? Do you have the means to actually do what you're trying to pull off? Or are you awkwardly trying to kind of cram some things together that really do not make sense? And would that time have been better served? I Am Not Starfire. I mean, Mariko Tamaki's taken home an award. Interesting, right? I don't know. I find it, for all the noise, for all the attention, for all the buzz, for everything else that happened with these books, it's an interesting result. Wouldn't you say? Thanks for listening.